Hey, this is James Glass, and I'm here working on my tiny home. I'm wiring the master bathroom, and I wanted to talk about the joy that is greenies. They are wire nuts. Here is one of them. They are wire nuts that have a little hole in the top. They are green because they are to be used for grounding, and you can see the hole goes all the way through. It's like basically a regular wire nut with a little hole at the top. I no longer use wire nuts it's been a long time a couple years since I've used wire nuts for the rest of my electrical connections. I now use these push connectors, which are fantastic. But for my ground circuits, I still use these Greenie wire nuts, and they are awesome. So let me show you how they work. What I've seen some people do incorrectly is by the way, this particular Greenie is capable of holding up to 4 wires. You can have 4 wires going into it that are 12 gauge ground, or you need a minimum of 2 14s, and all that information is on the bag. So make sure you get the right size wire nut for the wires that you're using. Okay, so what I've seen some people do is they'll have, like in this case, I've got line coming in, and then that feeds a line from this box down to the night light and the fan light, and then I've got the load that goes up to the fan itself, which is up there. So what I've seen some people, in the old days, what you'd have to do is you'd want to connect these 3, which go back to the panel, and then you'd have to run a 4th little pigtaily dude out to ground your switch. There's a ground plug on the switch, and you need to ground the switch. Well, the nice thing about the greenies is you don't have to do that, but I see people basically employing the old school techniques where they'll still cut the pigtail. They'll just run the pigtail out the top. You don't have to do that. You don't have to cut a pigtail wire. You can use one, it doesn't matter which one, line or load, whatever. It's all just connected back to ground. You cut 2 or if you needed to, 3 of these wires to the regular length coming out of the box, yay far. Leave one just super long. Slide this over and bring all your wires together and tighten them up. And then chop this to length, put your hook on it, and ground your switch. So you don't need to cut yourself a little pigtail wire and run it out the top. Just leave one of your ground lines long, and boom, voila, perfect. So that's the correct way to use a greenie.